Ladies and gentlemen, Strand is here, and I've got to say, I have really been enjoying it. Considering I am a Warlock main, the Warlock Broodweaver Strand subclass has been throwing me surprises left and right ever since I got it. Of course, I'm learning it, but every time I learn something new, it just keeps on surprising me. First thing that really caught my eye on this subclass has to be the shackle grenades. These things are really interesting. When you throw them on impact, they explode and basically pick targets up off the ground, while also splitting into two more projectiles, and any other targets that are hit will also be picked up off the ground, making one, if not multiple enemies useless for a few seconds. To make these even better, Bungie has given us the Strand Aspect Mind Spun Invocation, which will empower our grenades in different ways. First being the grapple. When you grapple towards some enemies or grapple onto an enemy, you can use your melee button during the grapple or a little bit after to hit enemies. On impact, you will spawn 3 threadlings, which will either do damage to the same enemy or seek out other enemies and help you out. The second being the shackle grenade. When you consume your shackle grenade, you will gain Weaver's Trance buff, and for a period of time, any final blows will make the enemies explode, and any enemies around them will then be picked up off the air and useless, like I said before. The last one being the Threadling Grenade. When you consume your Threadling Grenade, you will then have 5 Threadlings attached to your character. These Threadlings can be sent out by either shooting enemies, and they will go one by one and help you attack, or you can use your rift, like your healing rift or your empowering rift, and you will not only send out all 5 threadlings, but on top of that you will send out an additional 3 because your rift sends out some already. So you'll have a total of 8 threadlings that you can send out with that grenade. I think this aspect makes this whole super way better than what it seemed to be just off of seeing some of the information that Bungie had given us in videos and trailers and things like that. As curious as we all are about what these new supers and abilities and fragments and things like that can do, of course nobody wants to wait to figure it out. So while I've been grinding out for the day 1 raid, I've been testing Strand on a lot of different occasions and using a lot of different types of things, different mods mixed in with it to see what I can do. And right here, you're seeing me and my friends do the weekly mission for Lightfall, and I wanted to see what kind of things I could do in just this mission alone. And I'll say I was pretty happy with the results. What I did was I ran my shackle grenade with the aspect that I just showed you, along with the new Strand LMG Circular Logic. Of course, this LMG caught my eye pretty quick because, as we know, LMGs did just get a pretty good buff, and even before the buff, LMGs like the fixed odds, the almighty fixed odds, are just so overpowered. We love them. So this one definitely caught my eye very, very fast, especially with the new hatchling roll that you can get on it. Precision final blows will grant spawn hatchlings at the location of that enemy, or non-precision rapid final blows, so killing a lot of enemies very fast, will also spawn hatchlings at the location of an enemy. The role that I got to drop with this LMG happened to be Feeding Frenzy and Hatchling, so it kind of works hand in hand, because if I'm defeating a lot of enemies fast, I'm spawning hatchlings, and when I need to reload, since I'm defeating them very quickly, and a lot of them, Feeding Frenzy will help me get that reload off a lot faster. If you can't see where I'm going with this yet, let me explain it to you. Basically, I'm sending out some babies, I'm empowering myself to make enemies be completely useless and make more babies. It's simple as that. Strand isn't a new super that we got. It's a baby making super. To be honest with you, I think it's awesome. But to sum it up, let's talk about what I'm doing here. So first things first, I usually like to spawn my threadlings with my rift, get those little guys going out there, because what's going to happen is when I consume my grenade, not only am I going to be able to defeat a bunch of targets and get either precision hits or rapid kills and spawn more threadlings, I will be making targets suspended in the air and lifting them up and making them useless. They can't do nothing when they're suspended, so it makes them easy targets. So I'm making all kind of chaos go on, but if you use your class ability, you can run a fragment that'll actually give you energy back for defeating suspended targets. So it works hand in hand. If you want to know how to get this ability energy back, you're going to want to use the Strand Fragment Thread of Mind. This is going to give you class ability energy when defeating targets that are suspended. And since we're suspending a whole bunch of enemies, after consuming our grenade, you'll be getting that ability back very quick. Now, hear me out. This is not some meta build I'm telling you need to use. You don't have to use this when you're using Strand on the Warlock. I'm just kind of showing you guys some things that you can do with Strand and getting some explanation out there for people who might be confused on how some of the aspects of fragments work, or even how some of the weapon perks work, like Hatchling for the Strand weapons. This little mixture that I've got going on is definitely very, very strong. Being able to basically make enemies useless and not be able to do anything for a period of time on the battlefield, and spreading that uselessness to the other enemies through the grenade, I think is just really, really, really cool. I wanted to show people out there what you might be able to do if you're interested. For everyone out there playing Lightfall, I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying Strand. I know some people are kind of controversial on it, but I like to be an optimist and give it the benefit of the doubt on launch, because you never know, it might just be the best thing ever. But we'll see. I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good one.